Always a great pleasure to welcome in one of our favorites, Uncle B, Blaine Fowler, dual threat analyst of football and basketball, specifically on Football Today, and a national champion. Great to have you back in Studio B, man.
Good to be here. This is such a great setup. Of course, we all spend a lot of our life in this room. So
it's a very versatile working area.
It does feel like home to me.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, we're in the living room right now.
The Cougar Council room.
Yes, exactly.
This is where we talk each other off the ledge and the fans off the ledge.
It's a place of comfort and healing at times, for sure. Blaine, before we get into BYU football and what they're preparing for in Arkansas, we have to ask you just your reaction and thoughts on what happened with the New York Jets last night, with Zach Wilson being thrust into what I feel is going to be the most pressure-packed situation he feels all season long, outside of if the Jets make the playoffs. I don't think it's going to get more pressure-packed than opening night, Monday Night Football, with everyone wanting to watch Aaron Rodgers, and now here comes Zach. What did you think of all that?
It was a little rough to start, and then I think he calmed down and played. And you guys just played his post-game interview, which it sounds like he's grown up and understands that you got to say the things that you're supposed to say, no matter what you're thinking, right? But like I think about the end of that game and the way he just kind of managed things, and what he's got to remember. And I've talked to Steve Young about this. When Steve first started to play, he had to realize I can't go make a play on every play. Like, I can't go win the game on any single play, and sometimes plays aren't there, and you just need to eat it or throw it away and come back and play on another play. And sometimes you need to eat it and punt the ball and come back and play, because rarely are you going to win a game on a play. You might lose one on a play if you throw a pick six, right? And so he just needs to play within himself, and that's not a good team up front on the offensive line. I mean, not even when Aaron Rodgers is in there. They didn't look good up front, right? So he's got to be careful not to be running around and trying to make plays with he has phenomenal arm talent, thinking he can throw the ball back inside late. He just got to kind of take what the defense gives and manage it. They're really good defensively. Created 4 turnovers. You can kind of let that defense win right now and show that you can manage and that you're a young quarterback and that you're not going to go out there and force things that cost your team the game. And you're going to say all the right things. And, hey, we got a 1-game sample right now. I liked everything about the end of that game last night, and that might be the formula for them to win. And if he does that, then nobody can complain. Now, Jets fans will still complain because they're the worst fans in the league, right? But that's not a bad outing. And he's going to throw some interceptions, right? Because you just throw interceptions in that league. Ask Josh Allen, right? There are defensive backs that are going to make big plays, right? But the interceptions you don't want are the ones where you're scrambling late, you throw the ball up, or where you just make really bad decisions and throw balls up and they get intercepted. You're gonna throw picks in the course of the offense where you throw a decent ball and a great play is made on defense and they pick it. So I'm not saying, hey, you can't throw any interceptions. I'm saying be careful with the ball, play conservatively, be a leader, play within yourself, let that defense win games for right now, and develop. And I think, I'm giving him 2 thumbs up for last night. That was a crazy, Spencer, you laid it out. How pressure-packed was that situation? And I thought he played pretty poised and gave his team a chance to win the game, and that's all you can ask him to do. And you can't listen to the noise of the Jets fans because they're crazy.
Now we're hoping the poise shows up in Fayetteville, right?
Absolutely. Let's focus on BYU. And you heard Aaron Roderick, Kalani has talked about it. No time to panic yet for the BYU ground game. But in your opinion, what's the answer for more yards rushing for the Cougars?
Time is part of it, right? And I like that they've had 2 games under their belt for everybody, including for Aaron Roderick, to go, okay, this is what I typically like to run, but based on the skill set of those guys I have up front and the running backs I have, for this guy, maybe I need to call a little more of this. For this guy, so maybe for Aiden Robbins, the play selection's a little different than it is for whoever else you have in there, right? Whether it's Deion Smith or whether it's the freshman, it's just like they all have a little bit different style, and the coordinator needs to, in game situations, kind of understand this is the strength for this guy, this is the strength for that guy. I think Aiden Robbins can still be a player, but I think he needs to run downhill. Deion Smith, he loves to get to the edge. Martin, he's kind of a combo back. He's more like Tyler Algier than anybody they have, so they can run the zone, outside stretch and those things with him. And so Aaron Rodgers needed some time to get it, right? But I also think this offensive line, it's still a work in progress. Every one of those guys is playing a different position. Every one of them. 3 brand new faces that haven't played in this system, and then everybody, and the guys that are back, Connor's playing guard, Kingsley's playing left tackle and not right tackle, and in this scheme, there's a lot of combo blocking and things that happen after the snap of the ball where you combo down on a guy and then like nonverbal and verbal, like touching and pushing off of each other, and calls where it's like, I'm going to go to the second level and get the linebacker, you stick with this guy. Those kinds of things where I think as the season progresses, and hopefully they progress really fast here because this is important this week, they make fewer mistakes and we have fewer free players coming through. So to me, these 2 games under their belt, it was great to have games to not play great and win.
Yeah.
Because you can learn a lot.
Sure.
And I think we're going to see tremendous improvement this week again. And the fact that they threw the ball downfield is going to make Arkansas be a little more honest in what they do in terms of their approach. SU, you heard Aaron say, and it's true, gosh, they put 7 and 8 in the box. BYU didn't throw the ball out of this world the week before, so they thought, well, we'll just stop them from running the ball, and then BYU threw it, and they won easily, right? Now, if Arkansas puts 8 or 9 in the box, BYU's not going to run the ball, and they're going to have to throw for 300 yards if they're going to win, right? You kind of have to take what the defense gives. I think Arkansas will play a more balanced defense. It's a really good defensive football team, Arkansas is. Really physical in the middle of that defense. Their backers, Thomas and Paul, are really solid, really good. And then Thomas, the safety, inside is also really physical and really good. So it may not be that easy to run it, but you have to run it to keep them honest enough that your play action game works and you have some intermediate stuff. So this defense is talented enough that I think they're going to play straight up, and BYU's going to have to be good in both facets of the game.
Okay, Blaine, let's say that Arkansas does throw 7 a few times. They've got 8 in the box, and they're just daring Keaton Slovis to throw the football, and they're bringing blitzes. There have been some concerns that BYU's offensive line's had trouble keeping Keaton Slovis upright. Are the Cougars ready to keep him upright against Arkansas's front if they do bring an aggressive play calling style like we think they will?
Yeah, I'm less concerned with pass protection than I am with getting the run game right. They have not been bad in terms of pass protection. There have been a few breakdowns. I think those are, when you have a breakdown, you go back and look at the film and you go, oh, it's a bad switch. This is a bad call. Not very often do you go, whoa, we're just physically outmatched right there. You can't do anything about that. If your guys just aren't good enough, you can't do anything about it. If they've made some mental errors or bad calls up front, you can fix that, right? And I feel like the vast majority in the pass game have been that. Actually, probably the vast majority in the run game as well. And so I still feel bullish about the abilities of this offense. I really liked the way Keaton threw the football. He was poised. He seemed to have a better command of the offense. It was nice to get Keanu back. You get Cody back, and we still haven't heard for sure. That would be big, because when teams are stuffing the line of scrimmage, Cody's the best guy on your football team to throw a quick hitch route to or a screen that you can get the ball out as an extension of your run game. I mean, a quick screen where Keaton catches the ball and just immediately throws it out to Cody is nothing more than a run play, except for I'm throwing it to him instead of handing it to him. And Cody's the best guy on this football team at reading those blocks, making guys miss, and turning a behind-the-line scrimmage pass or a 1-yard throw into a 9-yard gain or a 17-yard gain. So getting Cody back is going to have a big impact. I also think they need to get Keelan Marion involved in that type of game.
Yes, he's twitchy.
Yeah, Lassiter has shown us that he's another big guy that can go in traffic and catch the ball and go up with strong hands. I really like that. We haven't seen Marion's skill set taken advantage of yet. He's more like Cody, where you could get him the ball in space, and if you're having trouble running the ball, get the ball out quick to the perimeter, let him work his magic, let Cody work his magic, and now take that defensive front and those good linebackers and make them run sideline to sideline to sideline. And now you get into the game, you go, now we're going to run a draw, we're going to run something inside, and those guys are a little bit gassed. And they've been running sideline to sideline. That's how you soften up the inside of a defense for a run game. You make them chase things to the perimeter, you use your quickness in space, and so I'm very hopeful that Cody Epps can be back in this lineup, because I think he's a difference maker for this offense.
If you like this stuff from Blaine Fowler, then you should absolutely watch After Further Review tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 Mountain, live on the BYU TV app is when that episode will be available.